Hi.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday's episode of Seniorly Presents Curtain Up. We're your hosts. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Emma, and we're still at home streaming to you live, but we're so excited to be bringing you even more performances every day. And thank you to all of the artists who are continuing to volunteer for us every single day to perform for you all. Andrew, how's your day going?
I learned I cannot eat lots of milk chocolate because I wake up the next day and I start craving more milk chocolate.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm getting really sick of my own cooking, and I'm not like enthusiastic enough to try new things. So it's just been a lot of scrambled eggs over here.
Oh
I know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What do we have on today's show today?
Yes, we have a lot of great performances, but before that, I'll just tell the audience, by now I'm sure you already know, but Seniorly has created Curtain Up in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, and right now we are all more isolated than ever. But this stream is really here as an incredible opportunity to find a way to connect with others through music and art and see firsthand the generosity that our volunteers are showing.
We are so lucky. We feel so lucky to be able to share this with you and share the talent that they have with you.
And with that in mind, we really love hearing from you. So please keep it up. And if you want to help us to spread the word online, you can follow Seniorly on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and give us a shout out using the hashtag #CurtainUp.
Just a reminder, we're trying to get closed captioning enabled, so any audience members, any viewers watching who are hard of hearing will have a better time experiencing the daily show. But we need 1,000 subscribers to make that happen. YouTube tells us we need at least 1,000 subscribers to enable closed captioning. So please subscribe to this channel. Please copy this link and share it with everybody you know, family and friends, and get them to subscribe too.
And we have such an incredible lineup for you today. Nick Bleymeyer, Monet Sabel, and Kristina Dizon. But first, we have Chad Wood here for our daily dose of positivity. Welcome, Chad.
Hello, friends, and thanks again for joining us. I hope you had fun trying the breath exercise yesterday. You'd be surprised how often the average person either holds their breath or breathes too shallow throughout the day. That's why practice makes perfect. If you practice your breathing or meditation, you're more likely to catch yourself and readjust when you're faced with tough situations. It's that easy. And now for a quote by Albert Einstein. There are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. To me, that's a reminder to embrace everything that comes our way and to recognize every moment as a gift. If we embrace the tough times along with the easy times, the more likely we are to recognize a gift in them. In this uneasy time, as I breathe through my fears, I'm seeing so much empathy for one another, and I fully appreciate how many people are so freely offering themselves to support and assist one another, even in small ways, such as a comforting look or a loving smile. May your day today and every day be filled with little miracles.
Thank you, Chad, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And what a great way to just start off the show today. And now for our first performance, we have a man of many talents, Nick Bleymeyer, joining us from Hudson, New York. Nick is a writer, actor, and a composer. He was in the Broadway cast of Godspell and Cry Baby. He wrote the musical Glory Days, and he's been on TV, film. Hi, we're so excited to have you here. I hear you're going to play an original tune called Balancing, so take it away.
All right. All of the roads, all of the options, all of the things to say, where you could go, where you are going, aren't the same way. We are balancing, baby, balancing. Never enough, always too much balancing. oh. Stay in the night, leave in the morning, don't wanna let her in. It isn't right, but that's not important, don't wanna let her win. Oh, we are balancing, baby, balancing. The black and the white, the wrong and the right, balancing. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Oh no, we're tripping and flipping and slipping away. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, not today. Not today. We are balancing, baby, balancing. We're at the helm and it's overwhelming. Balancing. All of the roads, all of the options, all of the things to say. Thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for volunteering today. And as a reminder to everyone, if you have any questions for Nick, you can type them directly into YouTube or Facebook comments. But Nick, how are you doing? How are you passing the time right now?
I'm good. I'm glad to have this, and I'm glad to be with my wife and my dog. And we are safely bundled. Obviously, it's an incredibly scary and sad time, but it, as Chad was saying, it is putting the positives in such wide relief that every day when I see an act of kindness on the internet, or I hear a song and somebody sharing in the way that you so generously asked me to, it does actually help. And I'm reading these articles about how human connection, even through the internet, is helping our immune systems. And it's a daily reminder of the miracles that are possible. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, that's great. And I'd love to hear a bit more about your dog. I heard he has kind of a crazy name. If you want to share and tell us the inspiration behind it.
Yeah, so, well, his name, it seems not crazy on the surface. His name's Leo McGarry. But if you are a fan of The West Wing, you'll know that Leo McGarry is the chief of staff to President Jed Bartlet. And that's exactly why we named our dog Leo, chief of staff of our lives. He is incredibly serious. He's a rescue. He's from the Sean Casey Animal Rescue in Fort Hamilton, Brooklyn. And we walked a different dog the first day. The cool thing about Sean Casey is that they let you walk the dogs before you adopt them, which is not always the case. And so we walked this really cute beagle that I had my heart set on, and the beagle was just like not really interested in us and like sort of whiny, like right off the bat. And I could tell my wife wasn't really quite into this dog, and she was like, I think it's this guy, this like little scrawny, very serious looking kind of detective dog. He went out into the world, just like couldn't stop sniffing and checking in with us, and like, did you notice this? There's clearly a scent over here. We have to follow this scent. And he just won our hearts immediately and very clearly runs our household. So Gary was the right name for him.
How's he doing through all this?
He's like the happiest clam because we're home. I mean,
Yeah.
We're both freelancers, but we're not home that much. So he's definitely he's happy on the pack walks.
Well, I know that was an original song you wrote yourself and performed. How is it balancing being both a writer and a performer?
I can't live without either one. I'm really very blessed to be able to make a living doing both. But even if I wasn't, I would be doing both. I feel like being an interpreter of other people's work is one skill that is only strengthened by understanding how hard it is to write something at all. And it's definitely made me a more patient collaborator on both sides of the fence. Just makes it easier for me to understand where a writer's coming from when I'm acting somebody else's piece.
And it also allows me to kind of let go of the responsibility that comes with writing a piece. But then on the other side of it, I just love the feeling of being able to get up in the morning and write and not have to wait for somebody else to make something for me to work. So this morning I was up writing, and it becomes kind of a good meditative practice on top of being something that I can share.
Yeah, and especially now you have so much time. I hope you'll keep creating. That's so cool. And Andrew's a big fan, so I know he has some questions too.
Hi, Andrew.
Hello. I saw Glory Days.
You did?
I did, and I love because I also love Stephen Booth, who you were.
I love him so much. He's amazing.
I just saw him. He doesn't know, but I saw him in Tina, the Tina Turner musical.
So good. Seems so high.
It's crazy. The four of you in Glory Days were just. It was a really. If anybody wants, I think the recording is available. And you wrote the music and lyrics to that.
I did.
Really extraordinary to be so young and get a show on Broadway. It's really lucky. I'm curious because I know you've played so many different kinds of roles in your career. Which one is your favorite, and why would you pick that as your favorite? What is it about that role?
I had the kind of baffling honor of playing my hero on stage, and that guy's name is Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent, and he also wrote a smaller, sort of lesser known show called Tick Tick Boom that he actually wrote before Rent, during his time as a struggling artist, and also kind of documenting his 30th birthday.
Right.
And that show was originally done off-Broadway in 2001 with Raul Esparza, and then Lin-Manuel Miranda played the part at City Center in, I think, 2014 maybe. And then the off-Broadway revival happened in 2016, and I got to play the part, and it was during the election, and it was just a really incredible time to be singing his words and to be thinking about the way that he sees the world, because it's so shaped the way that I think of the world as an artist. And I just think he nailed our responsibility as citizens in that show and in Rent in a way that no one else ever has. So I'm very grateful to him.
And it's interesting because you are yourself a composer, and here you are actually playing a composer who is a real person as well. How do you navigate your personal experience and what the character needs?
I mean, it was way easier than I expected, because I so identify with his plight. And what's so heartbreaking and incredible about the show is that in the show he's kind of complaining about not getting his work out there. And we as the audience in 2016 and now in 2020, there's going to be a movie, by the way, that Andrew Garfield is doing for Netflix, and Lin-Manuel is directing it. And I think the reason that show is so has endured is because we know that Jonathan tragically died before his opus Rent ever even reached the Broadway stage, and obviously for anybody who loves theater, it's changed the face of it. So to hear him saying, like, I wonder if it's ever going to matter, I wonder if my work is ever going to affect anybody, to both get to say that as a fan and then also be saying it to an audience of fans or converts, was just this like very powerful, haunting, beautiful kind of circle of life every night. And so I'm very indebted to that piece.
That's a beautiful answer. Everyone watching knows Lin-Manuel wrote Hamilton, and Andrew Garfield is best known as Spider-Man in the movie. So we do have a user question. A fan posted on YouTube. I'm going to put up on the screen for a second. Elisa wants to know: are you writing more original material while in isolation? #Quarantunes.
I am. I'm, to be honest, finding creativity to be a very tricky place right now. This is especially welcome because writing, it's a little bit like, what world are we writing for right now? It feels like the whole world just changed under our feet, and trying to say anything definitive about that has been really hard. I did sit down like the first day that we were home and was like, I'm gonna write every day. I'm gonna fill up my catalog. But it's been hard. So I've been sort of trying to get up and play, music every day, and I'm working on a TV script, and so I'm working on that because I kind of know what that is. But I feel like it's a push and pull. It's how do we all stay vigilant and continue to live our lives within the confines of this time without putting too much pressure on ourselves. And so I'm trying to find that balance.
I personally look forward to hearing what you create in that challenge. I hope, I imagine it will be as beautiful as the stuff I've heard that you have done. And I think we're going to convince you to sing one more song from Tick Tick Boom, which happens to be my favorite song from the show as well.
The best. It's the best.
It's called Louder Than Words. I think it's the last song in the show.
Yes,
And we'll just let you take it away. Thank you so much, Nick.
Thank you all so much. Thanks, Andrew. Take care.
Why do we play with fire? Why do we run our fingers through the flame? Why do we leave our hands on the stove, although we know we're in for some pain? Oh, why do we refuse to hang alive when the streets are dangerous? Why does it take an accident before the truth gets through to us? Cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask the birds. Fear and love, baby, don't say the answer. Actions speak louder than words. Why do we strive to be our best when people just get by and still gain? Why do we nod our heads, although we know the boss is wrong as rain? Why do we blaze a trail when the well-worn path seems safe and so inviting? How do we travel when we see the dismay and keep on fighting? Cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask the birds. Fear or love, baby, don't say the answer. Actions speak louder than words. What does it take to wake up a generation? How can you make someone take off and fly if we don't wake up and shake up the nation? We'll leave the dust of the world wondering why. Cages or wings, which do you prefer? Ask the birds. Fear or love, baby, don't say the answer. Actions speak louder. Actions speak louder. Actions speak louder than words.
Thank you. That was so amazing. Beautiful. Thank you so much for joining us today. And you shared some really eloquent words. So that was really special. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Stay safe.
And now we're going to check in with our friends at Arbor Terrace, Willistown in Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Hi.
Hi. So this is Linda. Hi, Linda. It's so great to have you joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing rather well, thank you.
And I
Yes.
think that we have someone, my colleague Andrew wants to hop on as well, I think, to ask some questions. There he is.
Hello.
Hi, Andrew.
Linda,
hmm
do you have a dog?
Yes, I have a Bichon Poodle.
Is it a boy or girl?
It's a girl.
Is a girl. What's her name?
Her name is Abby. That's the name she came with. She's a rescue.
Oh, and does she like the musical theater songs that we know you like to hear?
Well, she likes to hear me sing, so I
Ooh.
like songs.
Oh,
That's Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
hi.
So we'd love to give Chuck a
Everybody here's-
shout out too. He's the activities director. We want to give you a special shout out. Thank you for
thank you very
everything you're
much.
doing.
Don't mind the mask. Everybody here is healthy, so we're thankful for that.
Yes.
Good. And
We're
we're
just-
glad.
We're protecting our most treasured assets here. So
Exactly.
that's what we're about.
Chuck, how many residents are there?
Currently, we have 92.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
I hope they're all watching Linda right now because now she's going to be famous.
She will. We'll have to. Can we bring up the YouTube channel after it's all over?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna give it to our residents so they can watch it.
Great.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We heard, Linda, that you love music and theater and sing-alongs.
Yes, I do. I lead the sing along here on Sunday afternoon.
What's your
Okay.
favorite song?
I don't have really a favorite song. I love them all.
Do you like the classics like Rodgers and Hart and Rodgers and Hammerstein or anything contemporary like Hamilton?
Yes. Well, I haven't been able to see Hamilton, so I'm not sure of the music, but I'm sure I would love it if I could.
Well, actually, in a few days or weeks, I'm not sure, we have some people who will be on from Hamilton, so that's exciting if you want to watch. But it's exciting to have someone on who loves theater, and I hope you liked the show so far. And Nick
I did.
actually has a rescue dog just like you, so maybe you two can connect.
Dog pal.
And
Yeah.
it's amazing how music helps all the people here. They come in and they come in and they sit down and they listen or they sing, and then they're also happy when they leave. And that's what the music is all about.
You know, Linda, when we first thought about creating this live stream,
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the things we talked about, is that music has such a healing power. And
Mhm.
this is a time where we really need to be as healing as possible to as many people as possible. So thank you for that comment.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. It certainly helps me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Chuck, for helping us facilitate this today, and for Linda for being our star. And we'll actually check back in with you again, so don't go too far. I hope you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the opportunity. This has been wonderful.
Yes.
We'll be
See
back.
you soon.
Okay. Very good.
And for all of the other senior communities who are watching with us, please comment on YouTube, Facebook. We really, really love to hear from you guys. And now we have our next performer. She's an actress and a singer, Monet Sabel. She's joining us from New York City. And remember, you can comment on for questions in Facebook, YouTube. Hi.
Hi.
You look great. Okay, well, I know that she has 2 beautiful songs. Hopefully you guys recognize them. You can start right now.
All right, here we go. You got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. Waiting at the station with the workday wind blowing, I got nothing to do but watch the passers-by. Mirrored in their faces, I see frustration growing, and they don't see it showing. Why do I? You got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. The people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful as you feel. I have often asked myself the reason for the sadness in a world where tears are just a lullaby. If there's any answer, maybe love can end the madness, maybe not. Oh, but we can only try. You got to get up every morning with a smile on your face and show the world all the love in your heart. Then people gonna treat you better. You're gonna find, yes you will, that you're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful as you feel. As you feel. Oh, thanks, guys. Wait, I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
Emma, you're on mute.
Well, that was amazing, and your voice is super powerful and strong. It's so great to hear. I think you're going to sing another one. Oh, you brought the house down. From Oklahoma, Can't Say No.
A little different era for you. This one's really fun. Here we go. It ain't so much a question of not knowing what to do. I know what's right and wrong since I've been 10. I heard a lot of stories, and I reckon they are true, about how girls are put upon by men. I know I mustn't fall into the pit, but when I'm with a feller, I forget. I'm just a girl who can't say no. I'm in a terrible fix. I always say, come on, let's go, just when I ought to say nix. When a person tries to kiss a girl, I know she ought to give his face a smack. But as soon as someone kisses me, I somehow sort of want to kiss him back. I'm just a fool when lights are low. I can't be prissy and quaint. I ain't the type that can faint. How can I be what I ain't? I can't say no. What you gonna do when a feller gets flirty and starts to talk purty? What you gonna do? Supposing that he says that your lips are like cherries or roses or berries, what you gonna do? Supposing that he says that you're sweeter than cream, and he's gotta have cream or die. What you gonna do when he talks that way? Spit in his eye? I'm just a girl who can't say no, can't seem to say it at all. I hate to disappoint a beau when he is paying a call. For a while I act refined and cool, sitting on a velveteen settee. Then I think of that old golden rule and do for him what he would do for me. I can't resist a Romeo in a sombrero and chaps. Soon as I sit on their laps, something inside of me snaps. I can't
different than the first, but you obviously are an amazing actress as well. And you were in the acclaimed off-Broadway production of Sweeney Todd. What was that like? I hear you were a standby for Joanna. I know she sings very high. How was it like to go on for that role?
Well, it was quite a learning experience. I mean, the show was still one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. I did it for the whole run. Basically, it was a year and a half. I was standby for Joanna as well as Beggar Woman and Pirelli, which Pirelli is usually a role played by a man. So this whole production was very topsy-turvy, kind of. It was super small, super immersive. And being a standby means I was backstage every night of the show, not in the show every night, but ready in case somebody got sick or something happened and I had to go on, which means that a lot of the times it was very last minute when I had to go on. And especially doing these two different roles was like either I was the crazy old mom or I was the beautiful young daughter trapped in the cage, So it was like, all right, I gotta count on the training I've done so far and the homework I've done, and like it was really a lot of last minute action, but like so rewarding because since the audience was really small, you could pretty much see everyone in the audience, which I love having that kind of intimate connection. So it made it, even if I was nervous, I'd look at someone and be like, all right, we're just here together. We're just gonna tell a story together. It's really,
geez, that must be so nerve-wracking to like not know exactly what part you're going to go on for, and if you're going to go on. That's pretty crazy. Yeah. And your voice is so versatile. Obviously, we just heard you sing two very different things. But what's your favorite type of music or favorite thing to sing?
I think, I mean, gosh, I'd love it all. But I think I grew up listening to like Joni Mitchell and Carole King with my mom in the car. But then at the same time, I was kind of learning how to sing for the first time, going to voice lessons, learning, I don't know, Music Man and Oklahoma and the classics. So I think from an early age, I had both sides of, my dad was playing jazz and the Beatles, and then I would go to play practice and work on The Wizard of Oz. So like it was, I think from an early age, I had a love of it all. And now I don't know. I don't think there's a genre I don't enjoy.
And you're clearly good at them all. You're very talented. I heard that you also do cabarets all over New York. What's different about that as opposed to being on a big stage?
Cabarets, I love because it's very vulnerable and it's very intimate. And most of the time you're playing yourself, So I, as Monet, is going on stage telling you about my personal life, which it makes me more nervous sometimes than going to play a character because I've rehearsed this character and it's something I'm playing. But with cabarets, I've written some of my own that have tied together songs that I love. My boyfriend and I did a show a couple summers ago that was the story of our relationships. It was very intimate, and we had the venues usually that we play are like, maybe 100 people. So it's small, and you can see everyone. I guess I like that, huh? And it just feels like a living room full of your friends. So I love getting on stage and just like checking in with everyone in the audience. It calms me down. And then I love singing to people. I love when I can have that connection.
Well, I hope everyone watching will throw some comments in for Monet so she gets that sense. I know it's a bit different on the live stream, but Andrew has the questions from the audience and questions from him.
Monet, I'm in love. Oh my God, your voice is insane. that you can go from Carole King to Oscar Hammerstein and Richard Rodgers, like that is not easy to do. And but one of the things that's really unique about you is how much work I know that you do with up and coming composers on new musicals. Can you tell us, I have a particular affinity for the development of new musicals. So what's that experience like for you over the years?
It continues to be probably my favorite source of employment, I guess. But I love anytime a new writer reaches out to me and they're like, hey, we know you do a lot of this. I'm like, yes, because my favorite part of performing, I would say, is rehearsing and figuring something out, and like the collaborative part of that. And in a new piece, you really get that because they hired me because of me and what I get for free and what I bring to the table, which is very flattering as well. Like, oh, I get to put my spin on this. I'm not being asked to copy any previous version. It's brand new. And I have a good musical ear, so I'm able to read music pretty well and pick that up quickly, which is helpful in the process too. But that started like back in college. I think it was kind of, you know, the young composers were looking for the young actors, and here I was. And then now it's just like blossomed into a beautiful community where I feel like maybe once a month I'm singing somebody's new song, whether it be at a cabaret space or a workshop of a new show, or, you know, even online. Sometimes we'll record demos, like demo recordings together. It's wonderful.
Well, I look forward to when they're all clamoring to get you in their new shows.
Well, thank you.
We have a couple of questions from some fans.
Okay.
I'm gonna just look over here for a second. There was asked, let's get this up on the screen. Somebody took away my controls, so I can't do this. But it said, who inspired you when you started in theater?
Ooh. Well, the first Broadway show that I saw when I was 10 years old, I saw Thoroughly Modern Millie with Sutton Foster. And that was kind of, I mean, like, what a treat for me at 10 years old to see Sutton Foster. But she's always been someone I've really admired. Because I think she also is so down to earth, you know, and she feels just so loving and generous, and like you just want to hang out with her. I always have. Hi, Sutton. But she's someone I've always loved, as well as Bernadette Peters. When I was a kid, I would always watch the recording of Into the Woods. That's the kid of the Broadway company, and Bernadette Peters was the witch. And I just always thought she was so fantastic, so funny. Her voice is so unique and crazy, and she's so kooky. And I love a good leading lady, I think, from a young age.
Speaking of fans, is there anybody who's maybe watching you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, I know my parents are watching from California. Hi, guys.
Hi, guys. Thank you for watching.
Hi, guys.
So is he in the same room as you, or is he somewhere else?
He's my lighting designer.
He's done a fantastic job. As I said, I'm just in love with your voice and how natural you are. This is a song you're going to sing for us that a lot of people have asked us to sing on the show, but we're letting you do it. So we know it'll be just beautiful, and we know everyone out there loves this song. I'm not even going to introduce it. Thank you for joining us today, Monet, and I'm going to just have you take it away.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. I've had a great time. Here we go. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, Why, oh, why can't
Amazing. Amazing. That was so beautiful, Monet.
Thank
And
you.
I think you have a huge fan club because they're just coming fast on YouTube. Susan says, beautiful voice.
Thank you, Susan.
We hope to have you back again one day soon.
Oh,
Just
I would
really
love
such a gift. And thank you so much.
Thank
Stay
you.
healthy.
This has been a highlight of my week. I really appreciate it, guys. It's been
Thank
so
you.
wonderful.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
And next up, we have a beautiful performer with a very unique voice, Kristina Dizon.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Christina. How's it going?
It's great. I'm so excited to be here and listen to all the performers.
Oh, well, we saved the best for last, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Pressure. I'm curious, what are you doing under, isolation? How are you passing the time?
I think some days I wake up and it's, I'm feeling the weight. And so those days I think I've looked to other people's art. Like I'll watch movies, I'll watch different performances online. But then the days I'm feeling inspired, I'm like creating and I'm writing and I'm singing. And that's how I find myself to still be engaged with my craft, but also, just like Nick talked about, it elevates your spirits.
Well, we're so humbled and grateful you're here today to elevate our spirits. I believe you're going to be singing a song by Sarah Bareilles, who's a pop composer. She also wrote the musical Waitress, if anybody knows that. And the song is called Gravity. Take it away.
Thank you. Something always brings me back to you. It never takes too long. No matter what I say or do, I still feel you here just the moment I'm gone. You hold me without touch. You keep me without chains. I never wanted anything so much but to drown in your love and not feel your rain. Set me free, leave me be. I don't want to fall another moment into your gravity. Here I am, and I stand so tall, just the way that I'm supposed to be. You're onto me, and all over me. Oh, you love me 'cause I'm fragile, and I thought that I was strong. But you touch me for a little while. All my fragile strength is gone. Set me free, leave me be. I don't want to fall another moment into your gravity. Here I am, and I stand so tall, just the way that I'm supposed to be. But you're onto me and all over me. I live here on my knees as I try to make you see that you're everything I think I need here on the ground. But you're neither friend nor foe, though I can't seem to let you go. The one thing that I still know is that you're keeping me down. keeping me down, down, down. You're on to me, and all over. Something always brings me back to you. It never takes too long.
That was amazing. Wow. I swear everyone today is giving me goosebumps over here. That was so good. And I love that song. I just a couple of questions. I actually heard that you were the Beach Blanket Babylon Scholarship winner for vocal performance. Can you tell us more about that?
Absolutely. This was back when I was in high school, 2013. And yeah, I live in Sacramento. Well, my family does. And yeah, I applied for it. It was kind of like, I wanted to go to Cal State Fullerton, and I kind of couldn't afford it. So it was between that and community college, which community college is great. But because I was chosen as the top 3 finalists, I had the opportunity to compete. And that day, once we all performed, it was 3 categories: dance, singing, and acting. At the end, they awarded $10,000 to each person of the category. And because of that, I was able to go to my state school.
Wow.
It kind of just jump-started my whole career.
That's amazing.
From then on, you know.
And actually, so Seniorly is a San Francisco-based company. So even though on New Year's Eve they officially ended their 45-year run, anything related to Beach Blanket Babylon is really near and dear to our hearts in the Bay Area. So that really stuck out to us. And I know you're working on a really cool project with a special hashtag, if you want to share a bit more about that.
Absolutely. My friend Teresa Lotz, she created the hashtag COVID Musical Theater Project. And a bunch of friends who I only know 2 of them have different teams, and we're all writing. They have like a set of writers and actors, and everyone's collaborating to make these virtual musicals ranging from like 10 minutes each. So it hasn't been produced yet, but we're all currently writing it. So keep an eye out for that hashtag. And when we put it online, I'm super excited for what's going to come from it.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And I love to hear all these artists are really using this time to create stuff. And it definitely helps. 2 weird coincidences happened before we began this morning. We found out your first Broadway musical was actually Godspell, which had Nick in it. Is that right?
Yeah, when you announced that I was part of the stream, I totally recognized his name. And yes, I was 16 when I first visited New York, and sure enough, Godspell was one of the first Broadway shows I saw when I was here. And I'm so honored to be on the same show with him. Are you kidding me? He's epic.
That's so cool. And another thing you shared with us is that your parents actually own a care home. If you want to say a bit more about that, that's so exciting. And maybe we can get them on a future.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. Yeah, so I think they're watching this at a later date. But my parents own a care home in Roseville, California, privately owned. I think they only have like 6 residents. Yeah. But yeah, so this is very near and dear to my heart. Growing up, my dad and his twin brother would always be singing for the care home, and they'd bring my sister and I to sing as well sometimes. So
wow, that's so cool. Well, we're so glad we got you on today, and we want to actually take a quick minute to check in with Linda at the Arbor Terrace.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm enjoying this totally. It's filled my spirit with happiness.
Oh.
Anyone you want to say hello to?
No, I don't know what to say actually. Well, maybe to my 3 granddaughters. One of them is named Emma.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
My oldest granddaughter is Emma.
That's great.
And then there's Nora and Kira, and my daughter Amy, and my son-in-law Doug, who was the best.
Oh.
They're my favorite people in this world.
Oh, wow. Hey, Linda, I have a question. So if I'm not going to ask you to sing, but if you were going to sing, what would you like to sing?
What would I like to sing? Probably a song from Frozen 2.
Oh my gosh. Can we hear a few bars?
Okay, let me see.
She has a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
We know that.
Okay, let's see if I can do something. Where I can't sing now. Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a river full of memory. Sleep, my darling, safe and sound, for in this river all is found. In her waters, deep and true, lie the answers and a fact for you. Dive down deep into her sound. My dog is crying, but not too far, or you'll be drowned. Yes, she will sing through here, and in her song all magic flows. But can you brave what you most fear? Can you face what the river knows? Where the north wind meets the sea, there's a mother full of memory. Come, my darling, homeward bound. When all is lost, then all is found.
Wow. That was such a good surprise.
Well, that's without warming up, but yes.
I'm dying, because a lot of people don't know how hard it is to sing a cappella without accompaniment, just the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard song because of the intervals in it. That was beautiful, Linda.
Well, Frozen 2 is my granddaughter's favorite movie. And we've watched it over and over and over again.
I hear that from so many people that I don't think you can just watch that movie once.
So sometimes when I miss them, I watch it and we feel closer to them. So.
Well, what I'm most thrilled about now is we have you singing that for posterity, for your family to enjoy every time they want to log on to YouTube and watch it.
Okay, that's great. My grandchildren can see it. I can sing to them. That's great. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being our star today and watching and chatting with us. And I hope you've been liking our performances. Christina, the last one, she has one more song if you do want to hear it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Linda.
Bye, Linda.
All right, this is Begin the Begin by Coldplay. When they begin, the begin, it brings back the sound of music so tender. It brings back the night, the tropical splendor. It brings back the memory, evergreen. To live it again is past all endeavor, except when that tune clutches my heart. And there we are, swearing to love forever, and promising never, never to part. What moments divine, what rapture serene. Till clouds came along to disperse the choice we have tasted. And now when I hear people curse a chance that was wasted, I know but too well what they mean. Oh yes, let them begin, make them play, till the stars that were there before return above you, till you whisper to me once more, darling, I love you. And we suddenly know what heaven we're in when they begin
la begin. When they begin, la begin.
Woo! Thank you so much, Christina. We are so lucky to have you on today.
Did you know that Cole Porter made up, I think he made up the word begin.
I believe so. I think it's a dance. So yeah, he made up that particular word.
It's amazing. And now we can't think of a world where that song doesn't exist.
Yep.
Thank you so much. You were just beautiful today. Thank you.
Andrew. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
And everybody, I'm not picking favorites, especially because this is only our 4th show, but this was a good one. This was just magnificent. From all of us at Seniorly, thank you for joining us today. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need 1,000 subscribers to get closed captioning enabled.
And help us spread the word. You can follow Seniorly Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and use that hashtag #CurtainUp.
There it is.
And a special thanks to all our guests today. Andrew's right. It was a really great show. Nick Bleymeyer, Monet Sabel, and Kristina Dizon. And thank you always to Chad for his wise, calming words, as well as Linda. What a special surprise performance from her at the Arbor Terrace, Willistown. And thank you also to Erica Powell and Nathaniel Grainer in the broadcast booth.
Hey, guys.
Join us tomorrow. We have a great performance lined up with Lauren Marcus, Joe Iconis, Gabrielle Stravelli, Michael Byer, and Harper Griffith.
That's a huge hour. I hope we can get all that in. I just want to remind everybody, we are doing this for senior living communities across the country, like where Linda is, and for seniors who are at home. You are not forgotten, you are loved, and we'll be back tomorrow to entertain you. Bye now.
Bye.